Hey there. Today we are going to design a necklace using these beautiful freshwater beads that we got from BB Craft. This is a collab video, and this is going to be a beautiful knotted necklace um, with freshwater pearls. So we got 10 strands. I got it, and I will leave down the description box below the link for the products that I am using today. And also we got this beautiful charm. I have one full charm box, and I picked out this beautiful crab, the blue color crab with this freshwater pearls. Just reminds me of sea, so that's what I want to use here. And also I took a button from my just a plain button from my stash, and also I'm going to use this closed twisted jumprings. These are 24 karat gold plated ones that also I will leave down the description box below the link for you guys, so that you can get them. So the thing is, there is a coupon code I shoot 10, so you can avail 10% of your entire purchase with that coupon. And then let's start, right? So the thing is, first we need to attach the button to the cord. The cord also I got it from BB Craft. It is a 0.4 millimeter Chinese knotting cord. So it is a nylon plated cord, and it is pretty thick, and you won't be able to and at the same time you won't be able to break it. At the same time, your freshwater pulse goes through that. How amazing is that, right? So I got this in the coconut shell colors. This color is called coconut shell color, and that's the color I got. With the white, I thought that goes really well, and also the blue also goes very well with the brown. It's a nice contrast is what I thought. That's why I picked the blue crab. There was one more crab which was a pink one in the box, but I picked this one. And there is a lot of gold charms as well: seahorse, dolphins, whales, and stuff like that, enamel and non-enamel pennants or charms. And it comes with the jumpring, the 10 millimeter jumpring as well for us. So, and this cord won't go through twice inside the freshwater pearl, but it will go through once very easily. And the shank of the button, so here is the shank of the button. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take these two cords, fold it into half. I didn't I'm working with a spool. I didn't cut the cord off. So for I thought I will use this closed jumpring, and I want to add it to this. Okay, so first, since I didn't cut my cord and I'm working with a spool, I just want to put this in first so that I don't have to worry about adding it to the pile. If I don't use it, I will, when I cut the cord at the end, I can take it out. That's not a problem. So I just strung this in first because it's a closed jump ring, and then I just fold about, say, let's say 15 centimeters from the start. I would fold 15 centimeters like this here, and then I would go through this shank of the button with this loop. It's a pretty easy one, but if it doesn't go through, no, I have a small piece here. It's just I melted both the ends, so it'll be easy for me to get this through than that, right? So I just put it here, hold these two ends, so, and then go through the shank of the button. You can even put one by one, right? So just one inside and the other one. There we go. Then pull this off. See, so that's an easy way to thread through. So I come back here And so this is how I want the thing to be. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do an overhand knot, and one more, just an overhand knot, and take this cord and go through this shank one more time. I know this part is not melted, so it's hard to go through. I think once you melt it with your lighter and make it a little bit stiff, it will be easy to work with. So now take this and go through the just like that. So now what I'm going to do here is, you can secure it this way. Okay, I just want a little bit of strength right there. That's the reason I did that. But you can also do a noose knot. So what I would say is, I would just macrame this part and then snip off these 3 cords, the loop and the cord. The main cord, which is attached with the spool, I will continue doing it with the beads. But you can actually macrame and then cut this off. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is make a noose knot. I'll tell you guys what a noose knot is. In that case, we will have only one strand through this. So first things first, let's add all the beads to our cord. So the thing is, you can measure the cord out and then do it. So I want I want this to be a necklace / multi-wrap bracelet. So I hold it around my wrist and I wrap it around once, twice, thrice, 4 times and 5 times. And that wrap needs to be loose, right? Just loosen it up a little bit, and this is how much you need for cord wise. Okay, so that's how much you need. If you're doing it for a necklace, it'll be so thing is, hold this, 1, 2, and so that's 3. This is 4. Okay, see that at this point, and then 5 at this point, right? So that's a very tight one. If we add beads, it'll be more. So I would say just loosen this up a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so when I measure this, just this part, it's about, I would say, 25 centimeters, totally 100 centimeters in length, which will be about, say, 3 feet, I would say. And then if you think about it, and if you wear it around your neck, okay, it will be a long necklace. Okay, so I would say you can cut up more than that, like 4 feet or so, and then it's okay to have a little bit more than less. You can even wrap it around once more, so it's not a problem. So I'm gonna take about, say, actually 6 feet of cord, just to make sure I have enough. So 6 feet of cord, I cut it from the spool, the 0.4 millimeter Chinese knotting cord from BB Craft. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm gonna take the end. We are going to make a noose knot with this shank button. So I'm gonna add it through the shank of the button. Okay, and I'm gonna do it one more time. Just loop it around. Okay, and about, say, 15 centimeter over here, I'm gonna take my knotty tool. You don't even have to have this tool or something. Since I have it, I utilize that. That's about it. So this is these pegs come with this tool. So here we go. This is a barrel knot, so you can do it with this on the mat itself. Take a needle, like yarn needle or so, anything will work. And then what I do is I take these two cords, okay, and then I take this, keep it in the middle, the yarn needle in the middle, okay, and take the shorter cord, which is the 15 centimeter cord, and wrap it around. Okay, once, once. This needs to be like that. I wrap it around once. So I keep it in the bigger part so that it is not hard for me to move it through. So twice, thrice, how much of a time you want. Multiple times is a good option. So what I'm gonna do here is, instead of 20 centimeters, maybe a little bit more would help. So 15 centimeters, you can take 20 centimeters. Take this, okay, take the shorter cord, okay, then come around once, twice. You can also use a straw if you want. 3 times, 4, 5, and 6. Then what I do is I go through this yarn needle loop, okay, and then pull that through. If you're doing it in a straw, you will add the straw over here and then do that. So take this off and take this off as well. Okay, this is a noose knot. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this cinch. If you pull this cord, you can cinch the knot, but don't rush and make this tight yet. But see, I'm not making it tight at all, right? So I'm just letting this take its course, and I'm rolling it inside my fingers, and then I'm just pulling that, and then I'm tightening that knot up nice and tight. The same time, I don't want the loops to overlap that much, so I'm trying my level best not to let it overlap. At the same time, pulling the cord. If you pull the short cord, that will tighten the knot. If you pull the long cord, that will tighten the distance between the knot and the button, right? So once you have it closer, you can nicely pull it. We want the knot as close as possible. So now I'm holding both and then I'm tightening the knot up. So there we go. Nice and neat. There will be a small loop which we wanted for this to move nicely, but as close as possible and as neat as possible. So that's done. I did the knot. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start macrameing on top. I will keep this long cord and I will macrame on top, but before that what I'm going to do is the other end. Take my other end. I have one strand of beads here already, and then melt that end. Okay, make it into a needle. You can also use a thread zap if you want, but this is good. So take your beads and the freshwater pearl beads goes through this. Without any problems. So it does go through, so you can load the beads if you want, but I wanted to show is if you want you can ream this pearl a little bit bigger and then add this cord on top on this as well, so that the first one has both, but it doesn't have to be. So at this end we will start macrameing and then load the beads. That way we don't have to knot at the end. So I have here about say 12 feet, but we can add cord, the knotting cord. We can add it later if we want in this project. So I cut that. I will put that away, and then this 12 feet of cord, what I'm thinking is take these. Since it's pretty long, I'm going to make an overhand knot, a slip knot actually. Take it under the loop and then do that. When you pull this, it will slip open. So this is the center. So what I'm going to do here is take the ends, one end. I have some bobbins. These are small bobbins. The one part is flat, the other part is curved. Just pop that open, and then you can fill this bobbin up with the cord so that you don't have to deal with the long cord all the time. Okay, and then at this point I will flap this closed and keep it. That's one side. I don't have I thought I had two of those bobbins, but I couldn't find one. But I have these, which is similar to that actually. So I'll pop it through one of the holes here first. Okay. And wrap it around the bobbin. Okay, so that's what we have so far. and maybe this is not equal. I just slide that open. That's the middle. I'm gonna take my knotty doll, hold the button over here, and then I need one more peg across so that I can you can also use a macrame board or tape this to your work surface and do it. Keep the center right here. Okay, right next to our noose knot, and then take this cord. I'm gonna do macrame square knots, so left cord goes on top and the right cord goes on top of the left, underneath and through this loop that we created. Once you have that, the first knot is going to be a little bit difficult. Straight up against our noose knot or barrel knot. Now the right, the left, and through this. Somehow it got tangled. There we go. So I'm going to repeat the square knot. Square knot is very simple. You have a base cord, you have a knotting cord. The knotting cord, this is a Q and a P. So this is a Q. See how it is a Q shaped? That's a Q. Take the other cord, go on top of the left, underneath and through that. Okay. And tighten that up. So the same goes this side as well. On top, underneath, and through this. So I'm gonna repeat this for, actually we did 2 knots. The square knot consists of Q's and P's. 1 Q and 1 P is 1 knot. So I have 2 full square knots, and now this is gonna be the 3rd knot. Okay. You don't have to measure the knot in this instance particularly, because we have 0.4 millimeter cord and it is very thin and the knots are not big. There is bumps on either side of the knot which you can see if it is a thicker cord. In this case, we can just measure the distance between the knots. So we are going to add load beads, freshwater pearls in the middle cord, just the one cord. But for at least 1 inch of the cord, we are going to do this macrame square knot and then add beads to it. So in between every bead, we have a particular distance. So you can measure that centimeters. That will be easier to find out how much knots you don't have to count the knots per se. You can just count. See, there is bumps on either side, if you can see. So that way you can count the knots. One bump on the left side, one bump on the right side consists of one knot. That is one Q and one P. But instead of counting the knots, you can count the distance over here, like 0.5 centimeters or 1 centimeter. I think this will be. So that's how you can count it. That way it will be easy to actually keep means it's hard to count the bumps here and the knots. You can just say, okay, if I'm doing, for example, like this, right? This right here, when I'm making it, once I reach half an inch or 2 centimeters, then I'm done. Then I add a bead. That way it will be easier for me to do so. So it's up to you. You can either count the number of knots or you can count the beads, the distance between each bead, and that way you can do it easier, I guess. So whichever seems easy for you. So I'm gonna do about, say, a little bit more, and then I want to add, because if I add my pearl, that needs to be bigger enough to go through the two cords. So I want this to be secure. Since I have the noose knot or the sliding knot, barrel knot, I still want to go over the stop a couple of times so that I can be peaceful that the cord is nice and secure. So I'm gonna do more and then come back and show you guys how I add my beads. Somehow the footage got lost. So what I did here was I added a freshwater pearl, did the macrame knot. I'll show you guys how we will do this in the next set. Okay, and then I added 8 of the piece, 4 of the piece and 4 of the Q's, which is 4 square knots in between. That's gonna be visible. Then I cut the short cord, okay, because we are having the end cord as well and we are doing macrame on top, right? I just cut this short cord, and then I just melted that. Okay, I melted it, and then I started doing macrame knots with just one cord as the middle cord. So here we go. Somehow this came off. So the P's and the Q's, 4 P's and 4 Q's, if you want to measure it that way. I think that's the way, which is easier rather than measuring the centimeters, because it might be a little bit here and there. So count and then make your square knot. Continuing to do my basic square knot in macrame. So because we are doing it with a smaller card, it looks like mostly micro macrame, right? We are not doing bigger cords, so it will look beautiful. So 2, 4, 6, 7, and That's an 8. For some reason this is twisted. I did it correctly, but that's okay. So once you have that number of things, then the next pearls. So what I would do is I would string all the pearls to the middle cord or the base cord, and then I'll continue doing macrame. That way I don't have to go back and take this off, put it back, and so forth and so on. So as you guys can see here, so I melted this end, you can see that, with my lighter, and then when I do this, the pearls do accommodate the 0.4 millimeter cord. So that's the reason. If it doesn't, take a 26 gauge wire, a piece like I have it here, and then keep it right here and then push it. See that? It comes out the other side. So it easily pushes that out. So that's another trick or tip, you can say. So normally it does go through. If it doesn't go through, that's the way to go. So there we go. Just push that in. See this? It immediately pops out. So I will finish adding the beads and then I'll come back and show you guys what I got. Once you add the number of beads that you want, at the end, go ahead and place a sliding knot. Make a loop, okay? And then take the cord and just pull it like that. So this is sliding knot. When you take it off, it will come off. So all you need to do is make a loop, okay? Go through that loop and find out the long cord and then pull the other cord. So that's a sliding knot, so that these beads don't fall off. I have added some beads, like 2 strands of beads, and then see this how we are going to do the square knot with the bead. I just wanted to demonstrate that. Okay, so we have our knots. Now push the bead up top to the knot. Now the bump is on the left, right, and I'm keeping a P, so just like that. Then take the other cord, go on top of that, underneath, and through this loop. You do the knot as if there is no bead here, but the bead will essentially get trapped inside the knot. The cord will form a nice rim out of it. So here we go. Continue that. So we need 8 visible bumps. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that is 5, 6, okay, 7, and 8. Okay, once you're done, then move the next bead and continue doing the same knot. Now the bump is on the left side, so I'm doing a Q. See that? Basically I'm doing the square knot over and over again, and that will be beautiful with your pearls. Oops, just make sure the cord doesn't go on top of the bead and it surrounds the bead. That's the only thing you need to keep in mind when you're doing that. Now again, continue doing it, the 8 bumps or 4 square knots in between every bead. That also depends upon how long the length you want. If you want more length, you can do more length, but I really like this, so I'm gonna do this. Continue doing this until I finish my 5 wraps around my wrist. That will serve as a long necklace as well. Welcome back. So I didn't finish it, but I finished my 12 feet of wire. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. Let me just measure this. This is 33 and this is totally 65 inches. Okay, I have already made 65 inches, and so for to make 65 inches and the 7 to 8 millimeter freshwater pearl size, it takes 12 feet knotting cord. So that's the measurement that you guys has to keep in mind. I have a little bit left, as you guys can see. This is the shortest tail. My shortest tail is about, say, 10 centimeters. Okay, I'm gonna have all of these in here and then start the new cord and macrame on top. I'm okay with this being a little bit bulkier. If you guys can see, this is how it will be on top of this, and that's not a big difference between these two. I'm okay with it. If you're not, then you can melt this cord and then add the new cord. It's simple as it is. So either way works fine, but I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm gonna take again. So I still have, if you think about it, if I want to wrap it around my wrist, so that's a 3 wrap, and see that, so about, say, 3 wraps, right? Just a little bit more than 3 wrap. I want more wraps, so I'm gonna take and also I need to think, oops, just untangled it. It's not a big deal. It doesn't tangle that much, and I have enough cord left, so I can add more. So I'm gonna take another say 10 feet is an overkill. I understand that, but still what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 10 feet because the fact is, if I have a little left over, I can work with it. I can use it for other purposes, but if I have a too small a card, I won't be able to use it for anything useful, right? So I'm just gonna take, that's a 4 feet, and 8 feet is more than enough is what I feel. It's up to you guys. So how much you want to take? So about, say, 10 feet of cord. I'm going to cut it right there, and I'm going to show you guys how we are going to add cord on top. Okay, so this is the beads that I added, and I added 2 sliding knot at the end just to ensure that this does not come out. It's very cold outside. It's been raining continuously, and I'm going in and out of the house as well. I had a doctor's appointment in the early morning, so I went at 7 o'clock in the morning. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to take it and hold it right there. And this is the center cord, which I am going to wrap it around the bottom and hold it right there. So this is what it is. Now I want to hold these two cords as well in the peg. Excuse me. So everything is in the peg here. Just a little bit. So everything is here. Excuse me. Okay. Take my 10 feet of cord. Again, you need the bobbins if you want to. That helps a lot. Fold it into half. And then keep it underneath here with all the cords. Okay. And then take it. I have to do a P because my bump is on that side. That's how you know for sure which one you want to do. Take this. I know it's a... So I just did a P, guys. Okay. With all those cords. Okay. Actually, I'm supposed to do a Q, I guess. But the bump is over here, but we are not doing the same, right? So we are doing a new chord. So I'm gonna take this off. Use your pliers. But I feel that if you use your pliers on an 8 millimeter, 0.8 millimeter Chinese knotting cord, it's very forgiving. But in this, you just need to be careful. So take it like this and just gonna take it out and redo this. I'll be back. So I finished securing this cord in the bobbin, and now what I'm going to do here is I'm just gonna insert this. Okay, this is all going to be my base cord. Okay, I know it's not tight enough. Okay, now there we go. Take this, go on top, underneath this, and okay, it has to be approximately in the middle. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. So there it is. And now a P. So if you can see, there is a small shift out there. So that's about it. It is not very visible at all. In the grand scheme of things, it won't be noticeable at all in your design. So this is how you add another card to it. So if you're not comfortable working with a 12 feet card, you can actually cut it down and add card as and when needed. It's not a problem at all. And then once I'm done macrameing here, I will just cut this card evenly, or even keep it like this, and then I mean, I cannot do more because once I do the 8, I have to cut the cord. Since the thing is, I have to add the pearl. The pearl won't go on top of all the cords, so I will eventually have to cut it. So I'm showing you guys how to do that. So you can melt it again and then burn it to the work. So That's about it. Like how we started here, I mean ended the cord and then burnt it. That's how we need to do here as well. So I will work on it, and I'll finish doing my knots, and I'll come back and show you guys how we can finish this bracelet or multi-strand bracelet. So these are the two short cords that I'm gonna snip. Okay, and take the knotting cord, current knotting cord, and everything to the side. Okay, just melt this together. Just be very careful. Okay, that's it. And now we have our working cord. I'm just gonna make one more knot because this has become very stiff. So I want to secure that couple more knots and then add the pearl right here. I should have used a thread zapper here. Hi friends, welcome back. So I finished doing all the macrame. It took some time, but I took some time too. See, I didn't sit and finish this in one go. I just did it like piece by piece, like how much ever I can. If I feel, oh okay, my back is a little bit hurting or something, I just walk away, and then whenever I get time, I do some of the work and then come back and then do it. So it's pretty easy if you do that way, and you can finish a lot. It's pretty interesting. And I just have one bead left in that last strand. So now we have this, right? See, if you can see, after this bead I just made a little bit longer macrame without any beads, which measures to about approximately 2 inches, slightly a little bit more. So I think 2 inches is 2.1 or 2 inches is what I have here, depending upon the button size that you added in the start of the project. You want this to be longer or shorter. Let me explain that to you guys. So I want this to loop, and then we are going to macrame on top of this as well. So that's what we are going to do, but this loop should be big enough to accommodate your button. So mine is actually good. So what I'm gonna do is, this is so here we go. I think this is more than enough for me, right? So this is the size of my button right here. Okay, it should not be very small, it should not be very tight, it should be right about, say, okay, right here. So you don't need this much, but let me just make sure, take this off completely for now, and then I'll show you guys how I want this to be. 2, 3, so 4, 5. This is where we added the cord. So here it comes, right? So here it comes, and then this goes on the top, and if you can see, I need a little bit of a gap. So if it comes like this, that's how much it will be, but it is pretty tight. I don't want this to be tight, I want this to be a little bit more loose, right? I don't want it right next here. So if I do that, as you guys can see, that'll be a perfect fit for my bracelet loop. So I'm gonna go ahead with that. Sorry about these two zip plugs hanging around here. So what I'm gonna do here is, now I have this contraption, you guys can see it here. So this one, so I have folded it. Let me just show you guys. So this is the 2 inches, so I have folded it like about say 2/3, right? 1/3 actually. And so my button will fit in this part. So there is 1/3 here, 1/3 here, 1/3 here. So that's how much I have. Then I put it, secure it to my clamp right here, the knotty do it all. And this is the middle cord that we have been knotting this macrame with. This is the tail and this is the middle cord, right? So I put the middle cord over here and then secure it to the other peg down here. Okay, so which is like this. Okay, it's a little bit difficult because I'm gonna put it down so that it's okay. It just need to be barely there. So now I'm gonna macrame on this card and the bottom macrame part together. So this way. Okay, so now you guys can see this will become a big macrame, but that's what I want. And then we are going to do the same square knot. There is no change in the square knots, but this is how we are going to secure this part. I did one. I will do one more, and then once again check this loop whether your button will go through. Yeah, it does. So that's right. So now I'm gonna finish macrameing it completely. You can go as many knots as you want until this pearl end. You can make it. It's totally up to you how far you want to go. This macrame will be bulkier, but that's how we are going to secure our card at this end. So see this part, we need a little bit more. So I'm gonna do macrame as much as I want, about say here, and then we can snip off and melt the ends and call it a day. Our multi-layered bracelet versus necklace, you can wear this as a necklace is also so that will be done sooner. You can add some charms if you want, so that's totally up to you. I'm gonna add it and show you guys how I do that. So me having two different bobbins on two sides actually helps, because I know which bobbin I need to keep it into a PRQ format. So that worked out pretty well. I don't know whether this kind of a bobbin is available for sale or not. This one is sure will be. And it's kind of very useful when you have a longer card to work with. This card is amazing. I really like this one from BB Craft. I would go ahead and buy more, but I really like this card a lot. And I have already utilized, actually first I took 12 feet for knotting, and then I took 10 feet, so that is 22 feet, and also 3 or 4 feet for the base cord. I used a lot, but still I get a lot in this. So I'm very happy about the size, because freshwater pearl also goes into this, so that's amazing. You can do, I did macrame in this necklace or bracelet / bracelet, but you can also knot it, knot the pearls. I'm planning to do a video on that as well. So I really like this cord a lot. So there we go. I am doing macrame until the pearl, so that's nice and secure. This is a square knot, If you are not aware of how to make a square knot, go ahead and watch the basic macrame knot tutorial in the description box below, and then you guys can get to know how to do this. It's a pretty versatile knot. It's used in a lot of purposes, like a lot of different varieties you can have in this one single knot. You can have a spiral knot, you can use this as an adjustable clasp. There is a lot. Okay, what I do is sorry, bump the camera. Take my scissors and cut these two on the side. I know I have cut a lot, but it's okay. So that's there. I saved this cord. This is nice and long enough. I can use it for at least 40 centimeters is there. I can use it for another project, and I also have a lot left from the second 10 feet of cord. So here we go, right? So I'm gonna glue, first of all, glue here. Okay, just this is like GS Hypo cement. This is beadle on bead stringing glue. I also have GS Hypo, so just put a generous amount here and here. You don't have to put the entire thing, just about say here and here. Just about 2 square knots is more than enough. When you are working with this glue, please work in a well ventilated area. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna hold my see that? That's kind of scary, right? That might, it's better to do this together than one single cord. Okay, there we go. So just be very careful. See this? I think I will use a thread zap because I don't want to, this is way too so that's just this cord. There we go. And then here too, if I can zap it here. Not so sure whether I can. So there we go. That's exactly how it should be done. Catch it, then press it against. Once it melts, just press. Leave enough space. So by the way, so that's done. So that's how it is. Now you can decide where to add your, so this will come in. So this part I can add my charm. This is actually in this is stitch marker for crochet projects. That's why the jumping is real big. But what I'm gonna do is, so this is that other jumping. This is 24 karat gold plated closed jumping that you can use. So you add it before you put the beads on over here, and then you can add it. But for now, what I'm gonna do here is, so I took this jumping smaller one from my stash, And this one, if you want to add, there is a couple of options to do so. Okay, you can add it in the middle of the project, just like this. Okay, and then okay, you can have this like that. You can add it when you wear it. Okay, so when you loop it around, or I can add this beautiful crab pendant or charm to this with a smaller jumping, using my bent nose pliers to kind of use the bent side. Actually, I like to use it in my left hand, even though my hand is my dominant finger. I really have a nice grip on my left hand. Find out which one is for you. Then I take it, I split this up, add this, and add this macrame part right there. Okay, and then close it shut. There we go. So this can come out. So I am thinking of putting it on here. See this? This comes off. So I am going to put it over here. For some reason I'm actually damaging the jump ring with this. See this? It's now, I don't like it. It's now very abrasive because you heard the noise. So that jump ring I won't use. Because this bracelet is gonna sit close to your skin, it might be hurting you or something. So I'm gonna use another set of pliers right here. So this one right here I'm gonna use. I'm gonna prep the jump ring first. See that? And then I'm gonna add it here. Okay, then I'm gonna add the turtle pendant, the crab charm. Oops, I did it again. Okay, there we go. Now that's there, that's not gonna go anywhere. So we are done basically with our multi-strand wrap necklace or bracelet. So this is how it is. So you can wear this as in the front as a pendant. So this necklace can go over the head as a pendant, and it can also go around your wrist multiple times. You can wrap this 3, 4 and 5. Once you go 5 times, then you connect to this. Probably the knotting cord can be 20 feet. That'll be a little bit too much, but it is always good to have more than less. I really like the way this turned out to be, and I like my charm as well, the button as well, so pretty. So these freshwater pearl strands are from BB Craft. So as this cord, so I will leave down the description box below the link for the products that I used in this bracelet. The freshwater pearls, the cord that I used to knot with, the charms that I found in BB Craft. So all the links will be in the description box for you guys. And such a pretty project this is, and very nice and very, very classy. You can wear this as a necklace, or as I said, a multi-strand bracelet will also work perfectly for that. And this is the cord I used, and these are the strands. I have a lot more strands and I used only, I think, 3 strands of this, and this is 6 and 7.5 to 8 inches long. So okay, and yeah, 7.5 inches long. And these strands, I used 3 to make this big necklace, and then I used this 0.4 millimeter Chinese knotting cord. It is really nice, and you can knot with it as well. Freshwater pearls goes through it once. And these charms also, I got a bunch of charms. I will leave down the description box below the link for all of this. And this is actually a stitch marker, as I said. It comes with this big jumpring, but what you can do is you can just combine 2 strands and then do it, so that you can use it and then shorten it probably, so that way you can even have it hanging right here. So you can combine these 2 strands and then put a charm and close it, and then wear this as a necklace, and this will be looping in the bottom. So there is a lot of ways that you can use this with. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos couple of times a week, and you have my exclusive coupon code, which is IShoot10, and there is links in the bottom below if you'd like to click on that and check it out, the beads and the cord and the charms. I would be really thankful. And then BB Craft will also know that you guys have come from my channel and you're looking at the products as well. Thank you so much. By the way, the coupon code is IShoot10 for a 10% off your entire order. Thank you so much for watching this. Have a good day. Bye bye.